are available at Tickers or 1010 Hartford Avenue. Call this number, 401-383-4730. Let me give that out again, 401-383-4730. Dinner served from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., raffle drawn at 7 p.m. I imagine it's clam.
Yeah. You like, you guys like clam cakes and chowder and all that?
We like chowder, clams
do?
not so much.
Christina, no? You like any seafood?
Clam chowder.
Clam chowder? I just mentioned that.
Yeah.
Try to pay attention. I know I'm a little closer to Henry. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to bite too hard. By the way, the reason why I make some of the best clam chowder or best seafood chowder on the planet. I know there are restaurants that are going to say, Justice, you're full of it. You don't make better. Yes, I do.
Better than Amrine's in South Boston?
I wouldn't know.
No.
Were they really good?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a place down in Rhode Island called Iggy's. You ever hear of them?
I don't
They're
think
on
so.
they're in Warwick. Was it Warwick? No, Oakland Beach, and Narragansett. They do the Rhode Island chowder, which is the clear broth.
Oh.
Have you ever had that one?
No, it's like, no, I have had that, but I
She
prefer
likes the
New
Red
England.
Manhattan,
Yeah.
which I can't stand. No,
No.
self-respecting New Englander
No, that's like
would
Yankee
that.
fans like that.
No, we're not going to go with the Yankee
Yeah,
fans.
no.
No, but you know the old Rocky Point, they used to serve that red chowder,
Oh, did
and,
they
and
really?
I think there's a place on Route 1 in Warwick.
Well, I know
That
people
still
down here are a little
does,
funny. They put vinegar on their French fries. So
That's
they're-
a truly Rhode Island.
Yeah, they're a
Oh,
little
yeah.
different than folks
Yeah.
in Boston. We don't put vinegar
Well,
on
now
our French fries.
you know that each of the 6 New England states, Hal, have a very indigenous group of local foods
Oh,
that
yeah.
nobody else.
Yeah.
We got the wieners, we got the clam chowder and
Yeah.
cakes and all that. We got Johnny cakes in Rhode Island, Massachusetts. You all got some great cranberry desserts and even you can do cranberries and stir fries and all that.
Indian pudding.
Indian,
things like
oh
that,
my
yeah.
goodness, Indian pudding. I almost
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Liberty Love Fest. Because it's going on tomorrow, and this is the last show that you'll hear it on the radio. It's tomorrow afternoon from 5 to 11 p.m., featuring Tatiana Moros, Jordan Page, who are good friends of this radio show. We've got Grassroot, we've got the Chris Ross Band, we've got Fink. I want to talk to us about the John Birch Society. What do you have planned for tomorrow at the Liberty Love Fest?
Well, we'll have an information table with things concerning Common Core, the U.S. Constitution, of course,
Yeah.
a very important issue that I've been involved with almost exclusively for the last couple of months. It's the opposing the Article 5 Constitutional Convention.
And I've heard that quite a number of times recently because, as you know, you and I met
Yes.
at
the
a
Oath
Northern
Keepers.
Rhode Island Oath Keepers meeting with John Franceschi and Randy Swanson, two guys that are just really knowledgeable and wonderful patriots of this land. And then since then I wanted you to come on the show for obvious reasons. Now, you got more going on tomorrow?
So yeah, that's what
Now,
I'll be.
what's that
And I think they'll have an open mic, so I'll get up there and give a 5 or
Yeah,
10
they
minute
will.
spiel.
Yeah, it's not like the the Nazi anti-gun thing that they had at the State House a couple of weeks ago, where they can have well, you only got 90 seconds, and then I gotta cut.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
talk for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
John, Freedom Man has assured me that you'll have like 5 minutes. Dan Bedandi maybe 4.5. And I know he's listening. I know he's listening. He's a great guy. And we're gonna have a lot more people there. We're gonna have these bands, these artists. I can hardly wait to hear Jordan, because he called up last week and he said that he was gonna play something special for Northern Rhode Island. I don't know what that means. I actually saw a couple of his musical videos on YouTube, and I was quite impressed. Are you ready for some really cool music to defend patriotism? You got to go to Liberty Love Fest. The Oath Keepers are going to be there. The Tea Party is going to be there. The Rhode Island Tea Party, of which I have a really soft spot in my heart. I was the one who came up with the Tea Party Manifesto
Oh.
4 years ago. And a bunch of us were, trying to get other chapters going. And it's worked out. We had it on the website, but the website's like, all messed up. What else we got going? Do we have time for another break? Yeah, I think we do. All right, tell you what, let's do this. We'll be back with Hal, Shurtleff, and the kids, and a whole bunch of other stupid stuff that we can get away with, and we'll be right back.
Be sure to listen every Saturday at 12 noon to the Showcase Pro
What I'm going to do is I'm going to play a clip from Braveheart.
Okay.
He said that they'll never take our lives, but they'll give us freedom. That's what I'm going to end the show with, and we'll probably do it at like 5 minutes before.
Okay.
About the dog.
Well, let me give a chance, at least give out information where people can get a hold of us. Why don't you put the camera on Emily? No, just turn it. Yeah.
I want to talk.
There you do.
I'll talk.
About
Even.
There
There we go. That's good. I'll be on the radio.
I'll be with you.
Al, you want to give me that sheet, that bottom one? Yeah,
Yeah, sheet
let's
right
do
here.
that. Yeah. This is one of my catchphrases that I just love doing.
Gotta get on camera.
All right, it's now 12 minutes before the hour. Radio Head Rush is copyrighted by Off the Wall Media for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account in the descriptions of the show without the express written consent of Liberty Love Fest and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is prohibited. Nah, I'm just kidding. Oh, good grief. Hal Shurtleff is my guest, and you're a lot of fun. I tell you, your kids are getting a kick out of this, aren't they?
I think so, yeah.
Tell me about what, all right, we need to address this because it's a recent thing, and we also do a lot of news that, that the national news just won't touch. We had another shooting at the Fort Hood Army base in Texas. Again, we had the shooter supposedly, allegedly messed up on
Psychotropics.
whatever that means, kills 3 people, hurts 16 more, and then offs himself. What's happening to our country, Al?
Well, the psychotropics are a multi-billion-dollar business. If someone shows up at a psychiatrist or and something's wrong, they'll just medicate them, and the medication triggers, and not obviously rare examples, but enough to make a difference. Because if you look at most of these horrific shooters like Sandy Hook and these other folks, they all of them have been taking psychotropics. But what does the establishment media blame? They blame these inanimate objects called guns on the problem. And in Connecticut, as we know, the Connecticut legislature turned 300,000 people into criminals. Those 300,000 people, had any of them been by the Sandy Hook Elementary School, they would have taken that guy down. But they're the bad guys, and the doctors, the psychiatrists, and the big pharma, along with big government, because they work very closely. This stuff is administered in almost every single public school in the country.
Yeah.
That's and it's funny, they didn't start using these things until what, the early 90s?
Probably.
And that's when we started having these problems. So if a child is a little restless, and the reason why they're so restless in school is because they're teaching them garbage, and they know that, they're ruining their minds. So no one, and if you go to a typical classroom, it's a confusing, chaotic looking mess. You've got more distractions all over the walls. They're teaching them a look-say method of reading, so almost all of them are poor readers or functionally illiterate. So of course their mind's going to wander, and when they do, drug them down. Just drug them down. That will solve the problem.
Christina, do you mind if I ask you a question?
No.
Get a little closer to the mic.
Yeah, just go ahead, eat something like that. As a student at home, and I'm sure you've heard of what's going on in the public schools. Do you think you have an advantage over the public school system being taught at home?
People can't hear you nodding your head. You got to say yes or
yes.
You have
yes.
to be vocal. This is a radio show,
Yeah.
which is why the cameras don't come in every day on me. Because now, do you feel that you have a great education at home?
Yes.
Is mom also involved in this?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite topics that you're learning at home?
History. We,
She's become a communications major just today, by the way, by being on the show.
Oh, I'll tell you, with a little grooming, listen, I'm due to go to 2 hours in a few weeks, hopefully with the help of some sponsors. I could use a news lady.
We'll bring it down. We'll bring it down. Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I could definitely use the news, and since we're going to 5,000 watts, and as we grow with WVBF, all these shows that you see listed on that board, they're all going to grow too. Because with 5,000 watts, we'll be able to reach so many new communities.
That's right.
Like we're going to be going into southern New Hampshire, all over Rhode Island, somewhere in Connecticut, probably towards between Worcester and Springfield. We're going to be taking over southern New England one neighborhood at a time. I know it's going to be growing pains, and I know that, but with bright young people like what we have here in the studio, I feel a whole lot better for my country.
Well, that's what, we had a World War II veteran attend our Camp Constitution, and he was very impressed by the caliber of young person there. And when one of the staff persons said, "What do you think the prognosis is for the future of our country?" He said, "Well, if we can have more camps like this, teaching these wonderful principles," he said, "it's going to be much better."
What is the advantage for you as an educator at home, as a homeschooler? What do you find is advantages for the parents?
The advantage is we don't have to wake them up at 6 in the morning, drop them off someplace and put them in a school and have people teach them things that we strongly disagree. That's the biggest advantage right there, that we control the curriculum, that we can be flexible with the curriculum. And unlike this Carnegie Minutes, this Prussian model, which is what our public schools are based on, that if they're interested in a certain subject, they can stay on that subject the whole day. They can stay on the whole week. It's not like, oh, the bell rings, bingo, next class, bell rings, next class. We don't have to do that. We don't have bells ringing all to dictate our future.
I do. It's all in my head, though.
Well,
but that's a separate issue. We don't have to talk about that one now. How is the accreditation? How is that accepted in the?
Well, it all depends. There's so much. The homeschool movement is so flexible. There's so many. You can actually sign up for an online accredited course. You can get a program that's accredited. You can take tests on a regular basis. There's flexibility. There's unschooling. And in some cases, the homeschools can take the GED. And,
really?
Oh, sure. And
wow.
they take the GED, and or they can be accredited. So. And a lot of colleges, they like homeschoolers. They're going to take home. My 20-year-old daughter, started at Johnson & Wales. Her first semester made the dean's list.
Yes!
And it doesn't mean
my alma mater.
Oh, really? Well, and it isn't that the homeschool children necessarily the brightest. It's because they get the right education. And you can take a public school child, give them that same environment, they're going to do a whole lot better. So, and one of the biggest criticisms of homeschooling is that they don't socialize. Well, I beg to differ, because my children relate better, for the most part, with adults, and they dance. They have a church-based youth group they're involved in. Of course they socialize. They may not belong to gangs, and they don't kill each other for $100 pairs of sneakers or boots. That's the kind of socializing you're going to get in a lot of public schools, you see, unfortunately. So yeah, there may be some introverted homeschoolers, but there's also introverted public schools as well. And we used to live across the street from a public school, which I attended when I was in middle school, junior high school. And you see some of these poor children. You can see the kids don't even they're crying. They don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
And then you hear the bell rings, they're all out, and you hear this filthy language and this vulgar talk, and I'm joking, and say, well, those are the teachers, you know.
Well, that's not right.
No, I'm being a little facetious. No,
I know.
But I said, this is not a healthy environment. And the thing is that these children, the average child, when they're 2 and 3 years old, they have a vocabulary of a couple thousand words, which they just got especially by listening. And you put them in a public school, unfortunately, they cut that rung. Children want to learn things, and then you cut that rung in education rung. You teach them how to read in a manner where that's how they teach deaf people, this sight, whole language. And they've got so much invested in that. The NEA, the National Education Association, is a powerful lobby.
Oh, there's a
and-
winning organization.
And it is such a far-left entity.
It
And
is.
these are the kinds of people that are teaching. We pay them, for the most part, pretty good money. And then we have, they'll say, well, and some of these folks will say, well, I can deprogram my child. Most parents have their children maybe for a couple of hours a week. They got you for the whole, they got you for what, 20, 30 hours or more.
Pretty much.
So who's gonna dominate here? Sadly, the parents don't usually dominate.
Hal, we've pretty much run out of time right now, but there is one clip on an audio computer that I want to.
Can I just give out 800?
Yeah, how
websites?
can, yeah, give me your website and how.
JBS.org if you
Yeah.
want to, that's our national website. Greater Boston Friends of the John Birch Society on Facebook. And you can give me a call. I'm up in Boston, West Roxbury at 857-498-1309.
West Roxbury, isn't that where Cena is from? John Cena? He's from West Roxbury.
No.
You know him, the wrestler, or the.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
No.
By the way, I'm not going to be watching WrestleMania this year because I have a more important thing to go to. You know, like I said, I just retired from wrestling. One of the guys who I used to wrestle with and then manage and then wrestle against, he became a Christian.
Yeah.
So did his wife, and they're getting baptized on Sunday night
Oh, wonderful.
in right here in East Taunton.
Wonderful.
At what was it, Christ Community Church in East Taunton. And then we have Liberty Love Fest #4 tomorrow night. Hal Shurtleff, I got to thank you for
Thanks for
appearing.
having me.
Christina, you're just a wonderful. Thank you for answering our questions today. And I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I just wanted your input on what you're going through at home. And I gotta say that I'm a little bit jealous. Unfortunately, I went through the public school system, but I'm one of those guys who came out right. I have no problem with that. But you just got to learn to do your homework, act smart, listen to the teachers, and hopefully you come out of it all right. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Nate, for the videotaping, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at. Music starts at 5 o'clock, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. What time- now,
I
you're
think
gonna
they
be
open
there-
at, I think you start setting up at 3. They open the
Yeah, I'll be
gates
there
about
at 3 to help
so-
set up, and it'll be fun. Go to us on Facebook, look up Liberty Love Fest #4 on Facebook. And if you have any questions, email me at radioheadrush1530@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for coming on and listening to us on this Friday. May you all be blessed and have the opportunity to be a blessing.
Amen.
All right, let's see if I can get it right.
I am William Wallace,
Braveheart.
and I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men. Free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? Against that? No! We will run! We will live. Alright? Fight and you may die. Run.
Hello,
You'll
WVBF.
live
Yeah,
at least a while.
okay. All right, thanks.
And dying
Bye.
in your beds.
All right,
Many
yeah.
years from
Bye.
now. Would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that?
This is actually going on.
For
Yeah,
one
this is,
shot.
I've been
Just
wanting to
one
do this
shot.
since you
To come
said you
back
wanted to
here
be on the show.
and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
You are listening to the voice of Southeastern Massachusetts.